Hey, church family, hope this finds you doing well. I wanted to reach out today and keep you updated on what's going on here at Mountain View Fellowship. As I'm sure you're all very well aware of, the shutdown and all these restrictions due to COVID have wreaked havoc on businesses and organizations, and whether you know it or not, churches are not immune to that. The struggle for many churches has been ministering and engaging with the people when you're limited on how many people you can have in the building, when you can meet, and how you can meet. As you know, MVF has resorted to some very, very creative ways in engaging all of you as our church family. Another issue has been finances. Churches are doing twice the amount of work, and it seems like we're only engaging with about 25 to 35% of our congregation. And even though we've witnessed many of you have been laid off, some of you have lost your jobs, and few of you I've even heard of closed family businesses, the people here at MVF have been very, very faithful in their giving. For 8 months, and I can't even believe I'm saying 8 months, but for 8 months, we've had to rethink church and ministry. Because we've been severely limited, we've had to be incredibly creative as we've continued to do ministry here at Mountain View Fellowship at every level. And even with all of that, we've done very well by staying current on all our bills, and we haven't missed a single payment. All of this, I believe, is a testimony to God's faithfulness and His faithfulness alone. Unfortunately, this crisis has dragged on way too long, and over the last few months, we've seen a downturn in our giving, and our savings is really getting close, so we're just barely making it. We had hoped that we would have been through this by now, but Colorado seems to be on a path to tighten the restrictions, not loosen them. Now, I don't want you to hear this as complaining, because as always, you know all of this is in God's hands. This time has been especially hard because no one really knows what tomorrow looks like, and we're not sure how the state's going to react. I want you to know that the leadership here at Mountain View Fellowship has made a decision. Even as the state changes its restrictions, we've made a decision that we're not going to close our doors again during this crisis. We'll do our best to follow the guidelines, but with the church being deemed essential to emotional, mental, and spiritual health, we're committing not to close the building ever again. With all of that being said, I'm going to ask you to do two things which I believe will help MVF tremendously. First of all, I'm going to ask you to take our church family survey. We are putting out a survey, and it's designed to help us figure out how we're currently doing, but it's also designed to help us get some ideas on what we can do to better minister to you and to our community during this crisis. We hope that all of you will fill out this survey. You can find the link on the app. It's also in the MVF Facebook page as well as our website. And if you're a member here at Mountain View Fellowship, chances are you're going to receive the link through email and or a text. It only takes about 5 minutes, and I want you to know that any time given to this survey is time given to improve Mountain View Fellowship. We would definitely appreciate it. The second thing I want to ask you to do is, if MVF is your church and you have not financially supported us in the past, I would ask you to take that step. Maybe you have been giving, but you haven't been tithing. I want to encourage you to start practicing that spiritual discipline. And last but not least, if you're already thinking about some year-end giving, I'd like to ask you to prayerfully consider MVF in that giving. This has been a difficult season, but I want you to know God has not stopped working. Even during this time, ministry has not stopped, and we're seeing God change lives, and we're seeing people baptized. We know He didn't bring us this far to leave us, and we know more than ever that God is capable of handling whatever we hand Him, and we're trusting Him completely and His provision. I'm hoping this is premature, and God does what God does. I hope someday you and I can look back on this time as a stress-filled but faith-building time and testify to God's power and His faithfulness. But in the meantime, we're going to lean into Him and do everything that we can to win the next soul to Jesus Christ, to make His name big. If you have any questions or concerns, I want to encourage you to call me here at the MVF office. I would love to talk to you. And as always, we're here for you. Please let us know what we can do to help you and your family. We love you, and we're praying for you. Have a happy Thanksgiving, and God bless.